Hello everyone and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for another live watch along on the YouTube channel. We've got Champions League action this evening, two brilliant games to come. Lots of hopefully goals, lots of action and maybe even a few classics. Who knows, we'll have to find out. But we've got two brilliant games coming up and joining me as always. He is the Gladbach connoisseur. He knows everything about the side and he's hoping tonight that they can go and get themselves what would probably be a pretty historic win for the club. It is Mr. KL. How are we doing?
I'm doing all right, mate. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. We are relying on a Manchester miracle, but we're going to keep believing until that first goal goes in. How about yourself with Atalanta?
Should be a good game. I think, when we look at these two fixtures, I know the City one probably looks a little bit more done and dusted than the Real Madrid-Atalanta one, but with Gladbach being the away side, it gives them a very little advantage to the fact that if they can score a goal within the first 10 or 15 minutes, it will make the tie very interesting. But let's not forget that Manchester City haven't also conceded a goal in the UCL, I think it was 618 minutes, which is a bonkers stat. But on a night like this, I don't know why, but I've got a feeling Gladbach will break it. But I don't know whether it's going to be an early goal or a late goal. That doesn't really matter in the complexion of things.
Yeah. For Gladbach, I think they'll be hoping that they need a bit of luck tonight. They definitely need luck on their side because everything about this game is saying it should not be a Gladbach victory. Form, they're on complete polar opposite levels of form. And in terms of quality, Gladbach at the moment, I believe they do have quality in their side. They're just not showing it recently, to be honest with you. I think they need an early penalty or maybe an early red card, which then if that happens, or an early goal, the cat is well and truly amongst the pigeons. But I don't know whether that's going to be the case. Where are we playing these games tonight, by the way? Because that's not the Etihad. Where is that?
I think it's being played in Budapest tonight, the City Gladbach game. So it is in a different area as well, which is quite interesting now, of course, with the quarantining rules and such. It's made it a little bit more complex for that match to be played in England. But let's have a look at the comments. Chris is in the building. He's put, "Hi lads, hope you're well. I'm currently watching Carlisle away to Mansfield." Good to see you as always, Chris. And I know what he put. He put, "At least it's not a championship watch along, Josh?" We've had 2 weeks of no games. It's a struggle for us right now, but Watford a good team. James is in the building. He's put, "Evening lads. How are you both? How are you, Kieran?"
I'm doing okay for now. It's still 0-0 for now.
Exactly. He's still 0-0 in both of the games. We're all right. We're all good right now. I mean, James being a Luton fan, he's put, "I'm in a bloody amazing mood. 2-0 lead. Got to be happy," which you definitely will be indeed.
And Coventry have 10 men.
Yeah, even better. Should be a nice night for you overall, James. Carl's in the building as always. Put, "Hey, Josh Kieran, how are you?" Very good indeed.
Yeah, doing all right, Kyle. I'm not making any predictions because I can't be bothered getting bantered in about 30 minutes when all of it comes right the other way. So I'm just going to stay silent tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I'll make a prediction in a little second for my game. Infinity Football's in the chat. He thinks it's going to be a clear Manchester City win, which, to be honest, the bookies, everybody, form-wise, it looks like a pretty easy game to predict on paper, this one, which is a bit of a shame. But you never know. The Champions League is special, and it's going to be very hard tonight for Gladbach to have a special night. But I've seen weirder things. Yeah. I've seen much weirder things. I've seen Greece win the Euros. I've seen Leicester win the league. I know they're different occasions, but Gladbach could still come back and do it.
Yeah, as I say, I think in terms of everything needs to go this team's way tonight. Yeah. The problem Gladbach have is in kind of inverted commas, they can only concede one. Because the goal always has to be tonight. If you're going to win the tie, they have to score 3. So I just think it's going to be a difficult task, but you never know.
It'll be an interesting game overall. As I said, if we get a goal within the first kind of 10 or 15 minutes of this match, then it'll make for a very interesting game indeed. James put our first penalty scored since December 2nd against Norwich, which is definitely a hell of a long time. And then Carl's put, "Sending you all the best. Best of luck to you, Kieran, and Gladbach. I would send you a few pots of gold, but can't find them. Them fecking leprechauns must have taken them again, jerks."
I know, I can't, but absolute terrible people. But thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. And you know what, lads? I think I was talking to the boys during the Friday stream, and I said, optimism was at an all-time low. And as usual with football, they've got me back again. I'm trying to keep my spirits up, but we'll see how it goes.
It's going to be a tough one indeed. Dad's in the building. Oh, you're good, buddy. He's put even in Josh Kieran. How are you both doing? Very good. We're not started yet, which means we're all happy right now.
Yeah.
But very quickly, we'll have a quick look at the teams as well. Now, I haven't got the proper graphics and stuff. We've been very, very busy this afternoon. But I will show you right now on the screen. Ta-da! Can you see it on your screen, the lineups?
I can.
There we go. We'll start off with the Real Madrid-Atalanta game, which is the game I'm going to be watching tonight. Real Madrid, for the first time this season, going with a 3-5-2, which I think is a very interesting shout indeed. Courtois is in goal, back three of Nacho, Rafael Varane and Sergio Ramos. With the midfield five that has Vasquez on the right-hand side, Ferland Mendy on the left, with Modric, Kroos and Valverde in the middle, Karim Benzema and Vinicius Jr. up top. Atalanta going with their ever-present 3-4-2-1 formation. Sportiello is in goal. Jim City, Romero and Toloi are in the back three. Of course, I think it was Freuler who got suspended in the last game, so he's not available tonight after getting the red card, which means the midfield four is Gosens, Pessina, De Roon and Joachim Mihail. And then, of course, two wide players who might act as cams and left forwards, right forwards, Pasalic and Malinovsky, with Luis Muriel up top. You can see on the bench tonight, Elisic is on the bench, Zapata's on the bench as well. As for Real Madrid, still missing a few players, but they've got the likes of Isco and Marco Asensio. So pretty strong lineup for both of those teams tonight. And quite interesting as well, the fact that Real Madrid have gone for a back three. I don't think I've ever actually seen Real Madrid play a back three before. Have you, Kieran?
Not really. It's not their style. I think they've gone to match up Atalanta and kind of, because the tie's now in their hands, which, to be fair, after the way the first leg was lining up, it looked to be Atalanta's one to steal with the amount of injuries they had. I think they're just trying to match up Atalanta blow for blow and stay structurally solid defensively. Absolutely. Should be an interesting game, which is about to kick off in a few moments' time. Let's take a look at the two teams tonight for City and Gladbach. Starting off with the City team, it's a 4-3-3 tonight for Pep Guardiola's side. Ederson is in goal with a back four of Gian Cancelo and Kyle Walker as the two fullbacks, with the ever-present Ruben Dias and John Stones in the two centre-back positions. Midfield three of Gundogan, Rodri and Bernardo Silva, with Riyad Mahrez on the right, Phil Foden as the left winger. Kevin De Bruyne acting as the striker tonight, technically a false nine. Going to be interested to see how those guys do up top. As for Gladbach, they're sticking with the 4-2-3-1 that they've been going for a large part of this season. Jan Sommer is in goal. Back four of Benzabeni, Elvedi, Ginter and Leiner. Midfield two, defensive, probably not tonight, Newhouse and Zakaria. Left wing Thuram, right wing Hoffman, with Stindl and Embolo in the middle. You can see on the bench tonight a lot of players for both teams. Sterling, Jesus, Aguero, Ferran Torres, just to name a few for Manchester City. But Gladbach as well. Quite interestingly, Alisson play on the bench tonight. Do you think that's the right call, Kieran? I think, to be honest with you, he played during the game against Augsburg, and to be honest with you, it's about, he's not had his greatest season. In the Champions League, he's been absolutely brilliant. But in the league at the moment, he's not been able to get it going. I think Embolo offers you a lot more in behind that Man City defence, and maybe that's where Marco Rosa believes the weakness was last week, not being able to break the lines. And I think Embolo gives you that. However, in front of goal, do I back Embolo to score the big chance in comparison to Plea? No, but we'll see what kind of troubles that Embolo causes that Man City back four, if any, tonight. Yeah, it's going to be a big test for all four teams. Remember, I think even though City 2-0 up still could do something this game, although Infinity Football, I think, as many people will be saying, he said, I don't think with their form Gladbach can do anything. I don't think with their form Gladbach can pull off a comeback. But, as I said, I think it's one of those where I think 90% of people will agree with you. Gladbach fans will be looking and thinking we can still get back into this game. But who knows? It'll be an interesting one to see how that goes down. We'll have to find out, because if in this first 10 minutes City do get a goal, which is for the neutral what you don't want to see, then this tie is going to be done fairly quickly. And there's a chance here for Atalanta, and that is a massive, massive opportunity for Robin Gosens, who's inside the box. It was a ball whipped in by Luis Muriel, who was on the left wing. Both players swap in position for a moment, and Robin Gosens just tries to hit it first time, goes straight into the hands of Courtois, but really good chance in the game, and Atalanta could have had an equaliser within the first 2 minutes of the match. over here, I'll be honest, Mönchengladbach trying to press Man City, but to be honest, Man City are just passing the ball and tapping it round them every time. And to be honest, it just looks absolutely beautiful in the middle of the park, to be honest with you. But Bernardo Silva's managed to break away from a tackle, and I thought they were going to have an opportunity early on, but yeah, Man City winning that midfield battle with lots of 1 and 2 touch football, and it's lovely to watch, but not for a Gladbach perspective.
No, it's not what you want to see tonight. It's always going to be a tough game for Gladbach to get through. Even in these early sections of the match, they're going to want to try and make sure that City don't get a bit of a foothold in this game, which is quite hard considering they're playing. Well, I was going to say they're playing at home, but they're not tonight, are they? It's a situation where we're in Budapest instead, which has been quite the home of the Champions League this season. Already had Leipzig and Liverpool playing there, and another game tonight at the Puskás Arena, I believe it is. But Daz is in the building. He says he's very good. Thank you for asking. He put, thank you for asking, Josh, not you, Kieran. Won some money today. And then Carl's foot as well. We'll be watching the Real Madrid Atalanta game. Hopefully no Reds tonight. Fingers crossed, touch wood. And a good game. Atalanta to win 2-0 maybe, which would be an interesting match because we remember last year they had a really, really good 2 legs against Valencia. I think they beat them 8-2 in the end. It was quite a resounding result, but I don't think it's going to be the same case tonight. The second leg of that match, I think, ended 4-3. As James has put, I'm going to go back to watching Luton. First half of the while, shall pop back in later, boys. I know he's probably gone by now, but hopefully we will see you in a little bit, James, with a nice big 3 points for Luton. As Chris has put, can always pray for Gladbach, and Real Madrid should go through their main man Benzema back, and Ramos too.
Yeah, Benzema is, I think he proved it this weekend, Josh, that he's one of the best number 9s in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now, if you look at how the season's panned out for Real Madrid and take away some of the goals Benzema's scored, I think Real Madrid could have been in a lot worse position.
Yeah, I think I completely agree that if you take his goals out of that team, the amount of times he's been the one that they've had to rely on when they've had a poor performance is you can't really count them on one hand. No,
definitely not. He has been the biggest player that stepped up since Ronaldo's left. There needed to be someone that did, and maybe it's not even a case of him stepping up. It might just be the fact that he's getting a little bit more of the limelight now. Ronaldo was always hogging it, and I thought, season on season, Benzema did bring in good numbers, but now he's got that opportunity to be the sole focus of the team. I think everybody was expecting it to be Eden Hazard, but because he's had so many injuries, I don't think we're going to be seeing him much in a Real Madrid shirt in the near future. I know he's out again, actually, with another injury for 6 weeks, but he's the main man, and he's doing exactly what Real Madrid need him to do. Yeah,
it's one of them since Hazard has moved, he just can't stay fit. And whereas Benzema has been, mainly healthy most seasons and is up there for top goal scorer every single year as well. I mean, as you said, to be fair, he probably just didn't get enough credit while Ronaldo was there. But Benzema puts up good numbers, but Ronaldo put up monstrous numbers. That's probably the difference.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of talk about whether Ronaldo will go back to Madrid or not. I think Zidane came out a few days ago and said, yeah, we wouldn't mind bringing him back, but he's not our player and the future's in his own hands. So maybe one day we might see Ronaldo in a Madrid shirt again, which would be, it'd have to be relatively soon since he's getting on with age. But Carl did ask in the chat, have you guys heard what happened with the Zagreb coach? Which I did. I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't, mate.
Had to basically get booted out of the job because he's been arrested for fraud. So 4 years in prison, so they had to sack him.
That's fair.
Yeah. it's a strange one.
What a save, Jan Sommer. Sorry, there was a ball over the top which Phil Foden was watching and he just had to kind of prod it towards goal. And it was a great reflex save from Jan Sommer, who, again, as I say, has been the saviour for Gladbach on so many occasions. It's just one lofted through ball over the top, and all Foden could do was just flick it towards goal. And it's a good, strong right hand from Jan Sommer. But we need Jan Sommer on top form tonight.
Yeah, and that's been something that has been a bit of an issue as well. I think the back line this season has been very scrappy at times. I think when you look at the Bundesliga table, if I'm correct. I think Gladbach this season have conceded, I think, 40 goals, which is up there with some of the worst in the league. I think I'm looking right now at the goals conceded. Mainz, Hertha, Armenia, Cologne have all conceded 44, 45 goals themselves. While you look at the top end of the table, teams have conceded around maybe 30, between 25 and 35 goals. So they've got to improve on the defensive record. And I know we spoke about it last week, but what do you think with the Mark Rose situation? Because we spoke about it last week and we kind of said just a case of just keep him in the job till the end of the season. But as time's ticking on and the losses keep racking up, it just doesn't look like there's going to be an end in sight to this form. Do you sack him, boot him out the door, tell him, fuck off now and get somebody else in who can early look at the squad now where they're not signing any players and they can see who they feel should stay, or just keep him till the end of the season?
I think it depends on replacement. Like, do they have a replacement in line, or would it just be basically just keep him around for now? A worst case scenario, but there's a ball through the middle to Mbolo. This is a big opportunity. He's going to strike it from range. Deflected. Corner Gladbach.
This is what you want. This is what you want.
Josh, I don't know if you watched the Friday or the stream before that. Gladbach and set pieces have not gone well together in the past. But
you've got to have a sense of optimism.
If there's a night to change it, please be tonight.
Exactly. UCL night. It's always the occasion where you'd expect players to turn up big, but not much going on in this game so far.
No, it's one of them. It's been a slow opening 10 minutes, to be honest. Hoffman stands over the corner. It's whipped into the box and it's headed clear by Rodri. And Gladbach really cannot take corners. It is proven.
No, really they've struggled. They've struggled massively, but...
Go on.
I was just going to say, in terms of if you were the Gladbach manager, what positions would you upgrade?
The thing is, what annoys me is I look on paper and they have a good team. Like, they have a good team. But you've also sadly got to look at the fact that I'm trying to think about who's going to leave, which is probably a bad way to look at it. But I do think we'll need another centre mid when Newhouse leaves, because there's a massive drop off in there once he leaves. Hoffman's had a brilliant season, but I'd like another attacker. A really consistent striker. I know we got Thuram and Plea, but this year they haven't been going for it. And I think defence as well, you need to improve. You need a bit. One thing I will say is like defensive depth, because when you drop from Liner at right back, you've got Lazaro, who's not a right back. He's more of a right winger, and he's on loan. So, just a bit more depth, as De Bruyne does a lovely one too. He's looked for the ball in the box. It's over Foden's head, and Ben Sabini can clear. And then again, maybe a left back that's ever so slightly better defensively, because I don't know how long Vent's going to play for, because the guy's like 37. So
he's getting on with age. He's definitely getting on with age. Daz has just put, I won 27p on a horse today at Cheltenham. Not too bad. Nice little cheeky win. Not much you can do with 27p, but not bad.
You heard my day, Josh. It was I was betting on horses that had wheels attached to them. I don't know what the hell I bet on today.
Yeah, I don't know what you found to be betting on that, but I feel like you found some medieval shit going on.
Yeah, it was like some chariot race I ended up betting. I don't know how I did it, but...
Strange. It's strange. Chris put in the chat, Carlisle kicked off at 7:30. Just some of our players being late due to traffic incident. They're looking at I'm not manager, because I would have said don't bother getting out fancy cars. Go back home. Your wages docked for a week. But then that would mean the game would be called off, Chris. You wouldn't want them to go back home. They need to play, because then you as the manager, you get docked wages for telling them to go home.
Yeah.
So
maybe dock the people that got in a traffic jam. I don't know.
Honestly, it's a mad one, isn't it? It's a mad one. I know technically it's supposed to be there on time, but I guess you can't help with traffic situations. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is a tough one.
Even Oldham's media team can't get to the game because of traffic. It's roads, isn't it? Then they're always a bit of a hassle.
Yeah, exactly. And then Josh is in the business put, hey, hi, hey, hello, hi, hey, hi, hello. I'm not even going to try and keep saying that. How are you doing, Josh? You're good as always, buddy. Bit of a tongue twister, that one there. As a chance for Atalanta to come forward really good defending at the back from Sergio Ramos. It was a good run from Mario Pasalic, who scored 2 midweek. The weekend against Spezia. Ball from Luis Muriel has been really deep so far. It's a good ball to Pasalic, but he's just not quick enough.
What a goal! What a hit! Kevin De Bruyne, that is magical, and it's 1-0 to Manchester City. And I'll be honest, I don't want to celebrate their goals, but there is no saving that. There is no saving that. The ball has come to him on the edge of the box, first time from a Mahrez layoff, and he's hit it with his left foot in off the top of the crossbar. That is unstoppable from Kevin De Bruyne. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and do you know what? He's one of those goals. I haven't seen it, but it's one of those goals where, by the sounds of it, you've just got to put your hands up and say it's pure brilliance from a world-class player.
You can't save that. You can't. You just can't. It's... I don't know what you say about that. Genuinely, he's just hit it first time with his weaker left foot from the edge of the box, in off the bottom of the crossbar. That's magical from Kevin De Bruyne. Absolutely magical.
Well, Josh has just put, he thinks City's going to win 1-0 tonight. You might have to change that, buddy, because they are 1-0 up now. And, well, as Infinity Football was telling us in the chat, he feels that this game was done and dusted. That has probably killed off the tie, as we all expected, realistically speaking. Gladbach now, it might just be a case of damage limitation. I will look at your messages in the chat in seconds. We've got a free kick here in a good position for Atalanta. And it looks like, I think, Muriel is going to be the player who whips this into the box, which is a very strange choice of player, but he's whipping it in, which he does. Ping towards Pasalic. Actually comes towards Christian Romero, goes for the acrobatics. But in the end, Modric clears it away. But Manchester City now with a 1-0 lead after, 15 minutes on the clock? You'd expect more goals to come.
Yeah, not even 15 minutes, Josh, unfortunately. It's 13. But Thuram's breaking away nicely here. And it's going to be rolled onto Embolo. There's a couple of ricochets, and there should be a foul on the edge of the box, but the referee's completely ignored it and played the advantage. But unfortunately, the advantage came to absolutely nothing for Gladbach. But they've got to get a goal soon to even keep this City team a little bit honest, to be honest with you, Josh.
Yeah, exactly. You can see Manchester City, regardless of a game of quality against any team, not just in the Premier League, but in world football right now, they're just so dominant when coming up against some of these pretty good sides. They always look on course to score 3 or 4 goals, regardless of the team that they're facing. But I'll tell you one thing in this game, it's Atalanta who are dominating this match, as you would expect, going out on the front foot. I've said before, for me, this is the gung-ho team of football that doesn't really care about defending. Which they've got a corner that's coming to the box. It comes towards the path of, I think it was looking like Jim City who took on the volley, but it was an awkward one. And the Albanian in the end, he hits the shot way over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. But looking like the better side so far. And if they can keep this up, they might be able to get that crucial away goal fairly soon.
Yeah, and tell you what, Gladbach have nicked the ball high. It's Embolo who's rolled it to Stindl, and it's a terrible shot from the edge of the box, and he hits it first time on his right foot. It's under his feet, and it ends up being, it's no De Bruyne shot, I'll tell you that.
No.
It's poor from the captain. And to be honest with you, again, Gladbach, every time they go forward, it feels like they need to score just to have any chance in this tie. And I feel a bit bad, but Gladbach, pre-Marco Rose announcing departure, I feel they'd be putting up more of a fight than this. I really do.
It's what we said before when we did the actual draw for the round of 16. We sat there in the studio and we said, look, at the end of the day, at this point when we were recording it, which I think was around January time, we said that teams will be in much different form coming into these games. Yeah. And if you'd have took Gladbach pre-Christmas when they were on fire up towards the top end of the league, you would have been saying absolutely they could go to City and give them a good test, because at that point, City were also being average, I think, but now they're in full swing. You just can't see City being stopped by anyone.
No, it swings and roundabouts, like as we say, pre-Christmas. I didn't ever expect Gladbach to win the tie. They were never going to blow Man City away over 2 legs. But I just think over the last couple of games they really haven't tested at all, and I just feel that is a kind of a testament to how poor their form has been recently.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really disappointing for Gladbach. And as the season goes on, it looks like it's going to go out with a whimper rather than with celebrations. Out of the poor cow, not going to be in the Champions League. Looks like a mid-table finish as well. So there could be a lot of players also looking to maybe get themselves out the door, depending on what happens, because it's going to be a new manager. You'd assume new tactics, new systems. So a big kind of development over the next year or so you'd expect at Gladbach. But Infinity Football has asked, what do you think will Messi? Do you think Messi will sign the contract now, or would he want to try something new, even if Laporta has arrived as the new owner? What do you think, Kieran?
He asked Josh.
I mean, my opinion, if I was to answer it first, I don't know, because the thing is, when I looked at Messi's stats recently, and I saw a stat this morning, I think in his last 10 games...
Oh, he's rolled through. It's Gundogan 1-on-1, slide it past Sommer, 2-0 City, game over. It's absolutely... It could turn into a rout, this.
Oh, dear.
It could turn into a rout.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got the game up, but I'm looking at the stats right now. It's 70% possession, 3 shots on target, 2 goals. This is where it gets worrying for Gladbach.
Yeah, Phil Foden just drives through the middle. Gintig stops tracking the run of Gundogan, gets sucked towards the ball. Foden finds the gap. Gundogan slots it past Jan Sommer. 2-0. Game over.
Not good at all for Gladbach. 2-0 down, 4-0 now in aggregate to Manchester City. They are pretty much through to the next round, and it looks like it's going to be a case of embarrassment tonight for Gladbach. A lot of work to do if they want to try and get this score down from being embarrassing. But, yeah.
I don't know what they do, because this team has been absolutely pathetic the last couple of weeks. The Augsburg performance was awful. The Mainz performance, awful. I just don't know what they're doing. There's a ball over the top, and of course he's offside, and he drags it wide anyway, so what's the point?
It's going to be a long night. I mean, we're only, just under 20 minutes into the game. I'm guessing around 18, 19 minutes in.
Yeah. Let me have a look. The clock's gone off the top, Josh. 18 minutes in.
Oh, it's going to be not a nice night. I mean, Kyle's put in the chat, I'm so sorry, Kieran. Do you know what, Kyle? You tried earlier. You brought the pots of gold. We can blame the leprechauns for not bringing a look for Gladbach tonight.
Mate, we need more than 4-leaf cloves and pots of gold at the moment. It's I don't know what other lucky symbol there is, but we need anything. It's I just think it's going to be an absolute... This could end up Schalke levels from the other year.
I mean, it's not a question you want to be asked, but I'm going to ask it. Who stopped City this season? What's the one team, in your opinion, that could match up City and beat them?
There's a couple, I think. PSG, because they'll just go goal for goal with them, or they'll try. I think besides that, Bayern, obviously, one of the best teams in Europe. Unfortunately, we don't really know everyone who's through yet, but I've already predicted that, knowing Man City, they're going to get Porto in the next round. I've already predicted that. But as good as Porto are, realistically, Man City will run away with that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, me and Will were having the debate last week, and we said, if as a neutral, preferably for me, I'd like to see City, Liverpool, or City come up against the Spurs or something, because we were saying before, every English tie that we've had always tends to be fairly enjoyable. I think the only tie that wasn't was the Champions League final when Liverpool's played Spurs. That one could be thought about, but I always feel like when it's a two-legged affair, it tends to bring the best out of the teams because it's a Champions League match. So I'd like to see that, but as you said, I think there'll also be a lot of Manchester City fans thinking they might get Porto, which will be very, very good for them.
They always get a favourable draw. It's kind of the way they've and most of the time, even when they get the favourable draw, they somehow get knocked out. But this City team seems built different this year. They'll still get the easy draw, but they'll get through, and I think they could be right in contention to win the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think, a lot of people have got to put them in contention right now for it, because they have been, one of the best sides in Europe, if not right now, the best. I think you can probably put Bayern Munich up there in terms of their form, because they've got back to winning ways quite recently. But I think you've probably got to say Manchester City is the one to watch right now. I think, Infinity Football saying it has to be a rout for Man City, which at the end of the day, if you are Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, you're thinking to yourself, well, let's try and get as many goals as we can, and we can put a marker down and really show the rest of the clubs in this competition that we're not here, to get beat by teams like Lyon.
Yeah, exactly that. This isn't the same Man City team of years past where they've bottled it in big Champions League moments. Like the last couple of years, I think, as I say, I don't really know who is going to be the team to stop them, but it's going to take a while to stop the team at the moment. I think they're pretty solid in winning the Premier League. I think that's pretty much already decided. So this is the big one for them now, so they can turn their focus to this eventually.
Definitely so. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on for Manchester City in terms of how the Champions League pans out. As I said, pretty much through now, 4-0. Big result for them, and it could get even worse for Gladbach tonight. But in terms of this game between Atalanta and Real Madrid, it's been a pretty slow 10 minutes or so. It was a really good start from Atalanta, as you'd expect. Coming out of the blocks, really trying to push forward, get a nice early goal into the game to make this a very different tie. But ever since then, Real Madrid looked very sloppy tonight. I don't know whether it's the fact, these players were not playing in the main stadium tonight for Real Madrid. They've been playing in their training ground, which is, quite a nice training ground, I have to say. It's all right for some because it looks better than Rotherham Stadium, which you'd expect for a club of Madrid's size. But very sloppy, very, very slow, not enjoyable to watch so far. But as I said, I think Atalanta's still looking the better team in this game, and you just don't know right now. Any moment in this game could open this game to be a much more interesting one. But right now, 25 minutes in, still 0-0, which is important for Atalanta because as this game goes on, it still means they're well in the balance.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just showing a replay of the goal, and it's exactly what happened last week. Man City pressuring it. It's Gladbach trying to play out for the back, so they hoof it into the midfield and lose the ball. I don't know how you watched last week and don't learn, but yeah, it's just same crap over another week, I think, for Gladbach. And it's like you said, Josh, I don't know what they start to think. Like something's, unless they just want to keep dropping, just class this season as a write-off, maybe. But I think maybe I don't know. I think Rose will stay in charge till the end of the season. But I think this season now is just a complete write-off, and it's going to be forgotten about soon enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they'll sack him. They could obviously just bring in an interim. They could have, one of the backroom staff take charge, which, I don't know whether that's going to change much because most of the backroom staff, I would assume, is Marco Rosa's right now. But yeah, it's a write-off this season. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not a nice one, is it?
Annoying because it's a write-off that at the start had so much promise. Before mid-season, he announced he was going to Dortmund at the end of the season. And since, it's been a crapshoot.
Well, the question I was going to ask as well is, obviously Rose has got to take a lot of not exception. He's got to accept the fact that, yes, his announcement will have probably really dwindled squad harmony. But have some of the players got to look at themselves? Is there any specific plays in the last few weeks? Because you've watched them and, you'll see who's been the worst players on the pitch over the last few weeks. Who for you's been the bad spark in the team?
Josh, fucking take your pick. No one has showed up in the last couple of weeks, I would say, maybe bar Florian Neuhaus. That's the only one I can really see that's made, tried to grab games by the scruff of the neck, especially against Augsburg this week. But, it just seems like the whole squad's down because they went 2-0 up against Leipzig and conceded 3 goals in the second half and lost 3-2. It seems like a whole squad thing, Josh, rather than, like 1 or 2 individuals. I think the whole team just doesn't seem to be playing to their full ability at the moment. And don't get me wrong, Man City are amazing. As they go through again and Gundogan just takes out Jan Sommer and the ref decides nothing's going to get given either and it's going to be cleared. But yeah, I'm not sure how the ref hasn't given anything there, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Infinity Football has put, if Real tried to be very defensive tonight, Atalanta are going to punish them because they're attacking football, which you're spot on with that. As I said, for me, Atalanta, they're the gung-ho team of football. They don't sit back and defend because they're not based on that. They're based on attacking and pushing numbers forward, trying to get goals. And it's a very hard team to organise how to play against them. I think, for me, the best example has to be Liverpool, where they just attacked. They just basically play the same system as Atalanta and attacked them, and Atalanta didn't really know what to do. But they were actually checking for a second then. Apparently, they were checking a handball. Vinicius Jr. had a shot which had come off apparently one of the Atalanta's defenders' arms, but the VAR team hasn't actually given it as a penalty in the end, and players continued. So no penalty for Real Madrid. But if that had gone in the back of the net, then it would have made it a lot more harder for Atalanta to get back into this match. But 27 minutes in, they're coming forward again here, Atalanta. Ball played into the path of Martin de Roon.
Fucking what? Oh my God, Josh, that is an absolute clear as day foul in the middle of the pitch, and it hasn't been given. I don't understand what is going on with this referee. So Stindl gets the ball, passes it off, Ruben Dias runs into him, and just nothing's given. I don't get it. I really don't.
Doesn't sound like Gladbach's night.
That's the thing. No,
it doesn't sound like Gladbach's night at all.
I really don't understand how that's not been given as a foul. I'll be honest, this ref hasn't given much. For either team, it just seems to be like the refs just kind of. I understand you've got to let them play, but you also can't just have them clattering each other. There's not really how you want it to go. But I don't know. Bad day, Josh. Bad day.
Yeah, he's not sounding like the best day in the world from what we've seen so far. But it's a chance for Madrid to come forward. Vinicius Jr. is in the box. He's fell over in the end, but that's just because he fell over his own feet, and he will get the ball out of play for a goal kick. Referee not even acknowledging whether that was going to be classed as a penalty or not. There was a slight little push from Romero, but I'm talking the most minimal push ever, and it's a case of Vinicius Jr. just being too quick for his own feet. But I'll go out and play for a goal kick as Infinity Footballers put. Goodbye, have an exam tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep. 2 a.m. in India. Fucking hell. Very best of luck for your exam tomorrow. Smash it. But thank you very much, Infinity Football, and have a good night's rest, buddy.
Have a good exam.
Fingers crossed. Used to hate exams. Ugh, never nice.
Was you I guess it depends. I'll be honest, looking back, SATs were well easy. SATs were easy, GCSEs were easy. But
yeah, it was, for me, with exams, and it's completely gone off topic, but it always used to be, because they were in the summer, it used to just be the hot, sweltering days where you'd be happy to sit outside. You'd be sat revising for a shitty exam that, you look on now and you think, what, I've been out of school and that for 5-6 years now, and it's pointless. But Chancey, ball whipped in towards the path of Benzema. It's going to come towards the edge of the box to Toni Kroos. Good defending there by Martin de Roon, and now there's a chance for Paslic to come forward, but his Croatian teammate Modric gets the ball back.
I understand what you mean. I never revised. I didn't really like it. I couldn't do it. But I know what you like, because when it was absolutely boiling outside, especially during my A levels when it was the World Cup were on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Even though it's my A levels, I had to inform come on, Iran v Morocco's on. Do you really want me to? No, Iran v Morocco's on.
I don't know what it is with the exam boards out there, but they seem to strategically kind of put them on when the World Cup and the Euros is on. I don't like it because, to be fair, I never used to miss games because I think I was quite lucky. A lot of the exams were in the morning anyway, but it get to a point where it'd be you finish an exam at 12 o'clock and the next game was on at 2, so you're rushing back home to get ready to watch the next match. But never liked exams.
I know what you mean, because but the best was when you used to be in school and then there'd be a World Cup on, but there'd be the years when you didn't have exams. So basically every year leading up to your final year, and they used to put it on big telly or on a big what's it called?
On the whiteboards.
Projector, yeah. That was limbs, especially during primary, because I'm just going off topic because I need to get away from this terrible performance. Basically, we had it a sweepstake in school, and I remember when I was in year 5, we got Portugal. They didn't win anything, but it was just nice to be just got Portugal in sweepstake.
No, it would depend on what teacher we'd got in as to whether you'd get a game shown on the screen. But it was when you were really young, if it was an England match, it would definitely be on regardless of whether there was anything important to do in a lesson or not. It's always nice watching England when it's a World Cup. But Daz has put in the chat a question for us. Well, it's not really a question, but kind of something to talk about. No Pickford in the next England squad. He's out with an injury. Like, obviously, what's the thoughts on that? And most importantly, who goes in goal for him?
I think Pope deserves it. He's had more regular football than Henderson, and Henderson's obviously getting a few more now due to David De Gea and the birth of his child. Like, he's had a few games recently, and fair play to him. But I think overall, Nick Pope is probably the one I'd choose.
Yeah, I would have said. I genuinely Nick Pope. I nearly said pick Nope again, and we've got an awful tendency of saying names backwards. I'd pick Nick Pope. Yeah, I think Dean Henderson, very good player on his day, but ultimately for me, it's got to be Nick Pope. I think for Burnley this season, especially with how Burnley are, usually the last quarter of the season, they tend to become a very good side, and I think he has to be up there in contention for the England keeper. Oh, but there's a mistake here at the back. The goalkeeper's giving the ball away. Now Modric is in. This could be a chance. Lays the ball off to Benzema. And it's in. And it's a mistake at the back. And Real Madrid have the all-important goal that they needed in this game. And it is that man who we were talking about earlier, Karim Benzema, who gets his name onto the score sheet. And all eyes have got to go on the keeper there. I mean, I don't know what Sportiello's doing at the back there, but it's a mistake. And for all of the work that Atalanta had done in this first half an hour, they have now got to go for it even more because they're 2-0 down on aggregate. Yeah, and it's exactly what you said. Basically, these two games have gone exactly how we didn't want them to go. We said, let's not have an early goal for the team. And exactly what's happened is 2 early goals in my case. And Man City now have a free kick because the referee decides it's now time to blow his whistle every now and then. And it's a free kick for Man City. How would I say this is? I'm not good with yards. 30. I'm just guessing at this point, though. Maybe 30. I don't know, Josh. I don't know. We'll guess it's about 30 yards out.
Yeah, I might make it sound better than it is, because if it's only like 50, like just outside the box, it's not just outside, but the thing is, lots of players over it. I think De Bruyne will take it, but you got Mahrez, you got Bernardo Silva, who's walking away, so it's not him.
But that's the thing. Everybody's hungry to score now. Now, they've got 2 early goals in the game. Everybody's in a position where they're thinking, do you know what? I can go and score in this match.
Yeah, and that is an awful position to be in if you... Oh, my God, it's 30 metres. It's not 30 yards, but 30 metres is good enough, Josh. Come on.
Do you know what? Yeah, for me, I'll give that as a point on the board. That's close enough for me.
That's an away goal for me. De Bruyne hits it straight at Sommer, but Sommer has to tip it over the crossbar.
I'm just looking at the goal back here for Real Madrid. It is a mistake more from the keeper than it is the centre-back. It was just being passed around the back. It was Jim City, I think, passed the ball to Sportiello. Jim City had turned away, obviously not expecting the ball to be passed back to him. Sportiello passed it in the end. Modric, being a very good player, he's very tactically aware. Runs onto the ball, he gets it, and then lays it into the path of Benzema, who, as we were saying before, right now is no doubt one of the best players, not just for Real Madrid, but in La Liga. And he gets another goal to his name. And I mean, that man is on some form right now. Yeah, he is. And it's back to what we said. You can't give a striker that much talent such a simple, really goal, because it's another one where you just like, in these sorts of games, it was don't concede an early goal, don't make a stupid mistake. And one team's done one, and Atalanta went and did the other. Yeah, and there's a chance here for Real Madrid to come forward again. It's going to be with Karim Benzema at the edge of the box. The Frenchman tries to get the ball into the middle of the pitch. It's now come out to Lucas Vazquez. Some good football here from Real Madrid, who, themselves, like Manchester City, will look to try and push forward in this game. There's a long ball towards Nacho Fernandez, but he's gone down in the end. And I think there was a few Real Madrid players there calling for a penalty, but I think that's clutching at straws slightly there. It's just a 50-50, and in fact, it's more Nacho Fernandez with a foul on. I think it was Gosens who just come back there for the moment. Yeah, it was. Kind of just nods Gosens on the head, but also goes down as well and makes it look like he'd been fouled. But yeah, no penalty there, but rather an injury break.
to be fair, nothing really to report in this game since the opening 2 goals. I mean, credit to Gladbach, they've gone 18 minutes without conceding. So, we take some positives, Josh. We just take some of them.
I'm going to say there's not going to be many positives tonight. I'll tell you that for sure. But no. I had a bet on tonight. It was 2 shots on target, each team in each half. That's done in Manchester City Gladbach because Gladbach's, I don't know whether you'd be surprised, but they've had 3 shots on target.
I know 2 of, I mean, I'll be honest, they've been generous giving Stindls a shot. That was a pass to Ederson more than anything. But then Marcus Thuram bent one round the defenders earlier, but it was a comfortable enough save for Ederson. So I do remember Gladbach having 2 shots on target in this half. And of course, Man City have scored 2. So
they have indeed. This one's one shot on target each, so I just need just 2 more shots on target in the next few minutes, which is going to be a bit of a tough ask. But yellow card coming out here for Real Madrid. It's going to be Valverde who goes into the book. As Tubbs is in the building. How you doing, buddies? But hello, lads. How are we?
Just look at the scores, Tubbs. Read the room, Tubbs. Read the room.
He's not going all right in terms of what we wanted as a neutral right now. But, I mean, it's not good, of course, for Kieran as a Gladbach fan as well. But, I mean, where does it stop? Where's the line drawn? Because it feels that, it's one of those situations for relegation sides where you look at a game and you think, we'll win. And it can't get any worse. Although, saying that, Schalke Gladbach is at the weekend.
This is what I was about to say, Josh. Please put me on that game in the weekend because that has to be where it ends. Please put me on that game because it has to end.
I mean, do you know what? I feel like we need to do a watch-along just for the case of seeing a Gladbach win.
And just in case, you will see the downfall of me if Schalke defeat Gladbach at 5:30 on Saturday. I swear to God.
I mean, I'm just literally looking now to see what other games are on. Everton, Man City. If you want to do Schalke Gladbach, 5:30 is free.
Yes.
And you might see a Gladbach win.
Well, I swear, no, because if we lose, I'm just sulking for like an hour and a half.
I mean, if you lose, that would be Schalke's 2nd win of the season. When you look at it, Schalke this season, 16 goals scored, 66 conceded. They've got minus 50 goal difference, which has surely got to be up there as one of the worst goal differences I think I've seen in recent years.
Yeah, and it's probably going to end 1-0 to them or something rubbish like that. So.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. That's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah. But it will be interesting because I was about to say to you, Josh, when you said where do you draw the line, Schalke at the weekend, because if you lose to Schalke, there's just no coming back. And I don't mean that as an offence to Schalke because they're a team with a lot of pedigree and a lot of history, but they're on 1 win.
That's one of those where if you don't win, you literally tell Marco Rose to pack his bags and get out of the stadium before full time. Yeah,
pretty much. As Gladbach passing it around on the edge of the box. To be fair, they've actually grown into the game since they took it to and Thuram's on the edge of the box. He's rolled it through to Mbolo, who took a shot across the keeper. And that is a position where you need a better finisher than Mbolo. That should be in the back of the net. But brilliant play by Gladbach. He rolls John Stones beautifully, does the Swiss forward. Hits it with his left across the keeper, and it's agonisingly past the post. I think Plea finishes that, I'll be honest with you, but it's what you have when you have an inconsistent forward.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When you're out of form, it's always hard to find somebody who's going to be the man to kind of lead the club and get everybody positively moving again. I mean, Tubbs asked it a little bit earlier, what's happening with Gladbach? There you go. That's what's happening right now.
I could talk about it for bloody days on days about how they've just gone down in form. But we'll talk more about Atalanta because nothing seems to be going on, Josh.
Yeah, do you know what? I've literally just sat there and I've had a look at the stats just to kind of get to grip with what's going on with this game. It has been a really, really quiet match, which is what you wouldn't expect from these two sides. Although saying that, Atalanta are going to come forward. There'll be a chance here for Malinovsky. Takes on a long-range effort and, well, it's not as close as I thought he was maybe going to be there. But we've had, overall, we've had about 5 or 6 shots in the match, 1 on target for each team. It's not been the electric game I think we expected, which is a little bit of a shame. But Atalanta need to do something soon, and I think it is a case of bringing on Ilicic and Zapata at some point in this match. Putting Muriel, Zapata, and Ilicic all together would make it for a much more deadly attack. But for me, I don't know what the thinking was today of going with Pessina and Malinowski as the attacking two. Because Malinowski hasn't had the best of starts as an Atalanta player. I think he struggled. And in a match like this, you need players on form. And then Pessina, a very good player, but I think Ilicic is a much better player who can finish.
Yeah, definitely. And his experience as well. He knows, especially last year, he was one of the real stonewall players in that Atalanta team that blew everybody away. So bringing him on just adds a little bit of experience to the midfield. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's what they need right now. They need somebody to come up in this game and be a hero because, as this game just keeps going on, I feel like Real Madrid are quite happy to just pass the ball around and waste a little bit of time. But what's happened? Take a breather.
The ref, he's just annoying me, Josh. Just irritating me. He's I can't get my words out, Josh.
That's how much the referee's annoying you tonight.
I'm ready to, I think I'm just clutching at straws.
And you're not even the one drinking.
It's one of them nights where I feel like everything's going to annoy me, but purely based on a crap performance. Like, the ref's probably not having a stinker, but to me, every decision he makes will be stinky because it's just the way the game's gone today.
Oh, Valverde. Sorry to just jump in there. Referee's saying no to a free kick. I thought Valverde was going to go on a bit of a storming run then. Got around one or two plays, but now Atalanta on the counter-attack. Muriel doesn't get the ball. Ramos again. I mean, there's not been much defending to do tonight for Real Madrid, if I'm being honest with you. But the man at the heart of it, as you'd always expect, is Sergio Ramos. Time and time again, he's always in the right position at the right time. And I mean, he's another one of those players like Messi. We were having that debate earlier about whether Messi would move on or whether he'd stay. I mean, Real Madrid and Ramos is another one where I think a lot of people have had rumours about him leaving, but he's so detrimental to this Real Madrid backline. I think he's another one that needs to stay.
There's rumours he's leaving, but he's another one of the players that I just can't see it anywhere else but Real Madrid.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd love to see him elsewhere, but I don't think it is. I'd just like him to stay at Real Madrid and just be pretty much a one-club man. As we've gone to half-time here, 1-0 to Real Madrid. Not the most exquisite first half in the world, but Atalanta are going to have to go for it in the second half. And I'm interested to see what Gasperini does because, I mean, there's been quite a few players on this pitch tonight that have been very, very poor for me. And it wouldn't surprise me if he makes two subs at half-time and brings on, as I said, Ilicic and Zapata into this game. But 1-0 to Real Madrid at half-time, 2-0 on aggregate. This game, still a little bit of excitement maybe for a potential chance for Atalanta to get back. 2-0 down is still a score that is comebackable, which isn't even a word at the end of the day. But they have a chance. As for City Gladbach, still going on.
Yeah. Are you taking the refs off? Oh, my God. It's half-time. It's half-time.
Describe it to me. I know you don't want to, but you've got to describe it somehow. What you've just watched.
The half?
Yeah.
Well, after 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of the half was a comfortable viewing, to be honest with you, For 25 minutes, it was okay. But the first 20 minutes was abysmal. I think, to be honest with you, it's what we said, Josh. In terms of the confidence of this Gladbach team, it was already shot to begin with. But to start the half, and look, it was a screamer. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the real problem. And when things are going against you, that's the sort of magic that people seem to pluck out of thin air. You either get an unfortunate penalty given against you, or an own goal or something unlucky like that.
Yeah.
But in this aspect, it was just a stunner from an incredible football player. And but in terms of the performance, I think they grew into the half. They played some really nice 1-2 touch stuff in and around the box as the half progressed. They had that one chance from Mbolo, which should have been into the bottom corner, to give them the thinnest bit of hope. But I thought we needed a miracle earlier, Josh. Geez, this second half's going to require some level of I think this would be the greatest comeback in Champions League history, and I'm not even joking.
I mean, it is a case of what do Gladbach do now? Is it a case of damage limitation, make sure that this scoreline doesn't become 5, 6, 7-0 on aggregate? Because a comeback look, at the end of the day, we've seen incredible comebacks. A 4-0 comeback is going to be incredibly hard. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not going to hype it up because I think, as I said, there's just too much in this game required for Gladbach to go and win it. But you know, if this game, let's say, if they could get it to finish 2-2 in this second leg and it finished 4-2 on aggregate, a draw against Manchester City wouldn't be a bad result and could be a confidence booster, even though it'd be a loss. Yeah,
I think I'll be honest, I'm not really one for half-time changes. I'm not really a fan of it. But at this point, just give it a go. Maybe go into a 4-4-2, take off Stindl, because for me, as much as he's a really good creative midfielder, he's not really on the greatest form. Bring Plier on, have Plier and Bolo as a front two, Soram Hoffman either side. And if you don't want to do that, just go 3 at the back. Why not? Let's have a party and just go for it. And if you lose 5-0, it really doesn't matter. But as you say, it depends what they want. Do they want to use this game as kind of a confidence boost? And if they lose 5-0, then it could really damage the confidence. But to be honest with you, Josh, I don't think the confidence could be much more damaged.
No, confidence right now is probably the lowest it could possibly get anyway. Yeah. So it is a case of, for me, it's just go for it and see what you can get in this match. Because as I said, look, if you can make it 2-2 in this second leg and get it's not going to be a point or anything, but it'll just be a little confidence booster. Even if they won it 3-2, yes, they wouldn't go through, but they'd be a little bit disappointed they hadn't got another goal. But a win in the second leg is always massive because, as I said, let's not forget, City haven't conceded now. This would be around about 650 minutes without conceding the Champions League, which is an incredible record. Yeah. Somebody has to break that duck soon. Surely somebody has to break that duck soon. And, you know, if Gladbach could do that, could be a little bit of a confidence booster for you. And we've seen as well at times when City have conceded, Southampton very recently, when they conceded, it can get a little bit cagey.
Yeah, and at this point, maybe you do take the small victories. Like, it's one of them where even though, like, we may have been destroyed in the leg, you know, we made them concede. Small wins in life, you know. But it's one of them. It was a difficult half to watch from a fan perspective because it was like hope for 8 minutes and then it was crushed. But in your game, hope, in Atalanta's case, the goal is the same. 2 and they're through.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, this one, because as I said, it's not lived up in the first 45 minutes to what I expected it to be. You know, that first 10 or 15 minutes was very good. Atalanta, the better side, as you would expect. Got to push forward and get a goal in this game. But they'll be a little bit disappointed. The goal came out of nothing. It was just a poor bit of defensive work. It was playing around the back, which I'm not going to sit there and say what I usually do, but it was the goalkeeper's mistake this time. It wasn't a case of passing around the back not working. Jim City wasn't looking. By the time Sportiello had passed the ball, Modric's mentality and awareness of the game, he's always going to be quicker to that ball than Jim City is because he's got to turn, got to get himself in the right position to get the ball. And ultimately, in the end, it was Benzema where he squared the ball to, and it was a simple finish for a player that just knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. But as you said, I think in this game, there needs to be substitutions. I don't think Malinowski is good enough. And if I'm being frankly honest with you, I think he should be sold. I think he's been terrible for them this season. And even last season when he joined, he's not worked to the system. And personally, get him gone, cash him out, because I find it very hard to see how he's going to improve as a player. But in this game specifically right now, take some players off. I think bring Ilicic on, bring Zapata on at some point in this match. 2 very good players that arguably shouldn't be sitting on the bench in a match like this, and go for it. Because what is there to lose now? 2 goals is doable from one of the best teams in Europe that know how to attack. 2 goals should be piss easy. But when you've got to play Real Madrid and players like Ramos, who've had very good first 45 minutes of action for the limited chances we've had, they've got to somehow break them down. And they've shown it. They've shown they can at points. There's been little glimpses of times where the Real Madrid back three's been opened up, but they've got to do it more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's tough from the aspect of, 2 goals in however many minutes it is, however many, it depends when they get that first one for me, Josh. I think, if they get it like, 5-10 minutes after the kick off of the first half, I think it's very much game on. But as you say, the defensive solidity of Real Madrid with Ramos, it's night and day to the usual Real Madrid side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, funnily enough, they've got to do what PSG did to them last season and go for it. We saw when they played, PSG in the quarters last year, they were 1-0 up. They were dominating the match. And then PSG, they got themselves back in with 2 goals in the last 3 minutes. They've got to do something similar to what PSG did. They've got more time. They've got 45 minutes. Lots of time to get back into this match, in my opinion. But they've got to get a goal early. You've got to really test Real Madrid under pressure, because we've seen this season in the Champions League, they didn't get through the group convincingly. They lost to Shakhtar twice, struggled against Gladbach at points, and never really made it through in convincing fashion. And Atalanta need to pounce on that. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I definitely think it's one of them. The two teams that are losing in these games definitely have their backs up against the wall. But if you had to bank on a team to really get going in the second half, it's Atalanta. And I think the surprising thing for me with Atalanta is the fact they've not scored yet in this tie at all. Because in the group stages, Real Madrid were okay, but Shakhtar got the better of them twice, and they were there to be gone. But another team, really, that they're a different team in the knockout stages, Real Madrid. They can have dodgy group stages, but they just seem to come alive. So for Atalanta, it's an uphill battle, but I think it's a climb that they can definitely, if they start early enough, can definitely get back into this game.
Yeah, 100%. As I said, get a first goal within the early 15-20 minutes of the second half, and it will make this tie interesting, because Real Madrid, with the players that they've got, I can't see them sitting back. I don't think it's in their DNA to sit back and waste time for 20-30 minutes. I think they'll go for it and maybe get another goal and try and see if they can kill the tie off. But I think Ilicic and Zapata are calling this game. Muriel's not done much so far. I mean, I'd like to see 2 up top and have Zapata and Muriel together. So you've got one poacher and one player who's just rapid. But I don't see that happening, because it's not in the DNA of Atalanta to do that. But Ilicic, for me, is the best bet to come on. Bring him on in this game. Put him as the central attacking midfielder. They brought him on in the last match they played. I think when I watched him against Inter Milan a few days ago, and he was a massive difference maker in that match. And I feel like he could be a little bit of a difference maker in this game as well.
And to be fair, though, Josh, at the moment, Real Madrid have matched Atalanta for shape. So if they do change the shape off of half-time, it gives Zidane something to think about as well, to counter the way. And I know, as you say, it's not really their style of play. But maybe that's a risk that at this point it might as well be worth taking.
Yeah, stubbornness sometimes for me is a bit of a problem with managers. I think the best example is Spurs, with the Arsenal Spurs game. Grant McCann, but no, I think in the UCL you need to tinker with tactics, because when I was saying earlier, the best team that played against Atalanta this season, Liverpool, because they took Atalanta's tactics and they matched them. They attacked and they attacked and they attacked. And Atalanta don't know how to stop teams when they attack, because they haven't got a great defence. When you look at that defence in the UCL, it's probably the weakest one of the round of 16. There's no real names in there that you look at and you think quality defenders. I personally think Porto have got a better defence than them. I think, with the experience of Pepe and stuff at the back.
I mean, in terms of name value, no, because Porto will win a league where name value of the rest of the back four, let's be honest, Chancellor Mbemba isn't
No.
To European fans that know Chancellor Mbemba because he played for Newcastle, they think he's really playing European football. Exactly. Yeah. But in terms of, I know what you mean. Like, I think got a back three that are very similar, apart from one player, which Christian Romero. But the thing is, he's got youth, so he's going to get better. So, but at the moment, I understand what you're saying, because Toloy, he's okay. Jim City, he's okay. And Palomino is okay. It's a lot of average defenders.
Yeah, the plays where you look at them and you think to yourself, like one or two of them, yeah, I can see them playing for top clubs. I think Toloi is a very good defender. I could see him playing for like Tottenham or something. As you said, I think that one of the best defenders got is Romero, played exceptionally well last week, considering they were down to 10 men. But that's, for me, one of the positions that they've got to upgrade. And it's tough purely because Atalanta, for many players, isn't going to be as desirable because it hasn't got history as such. It's a very new club in terms of being in the UCL and stuff, and just a new big club in this day and age. You know, we don't see many new clubs become top teams. You know, there's been a lot of teams that have been and gone that were classed as top clubs at the end of the day, but it's the position for me they need to upgrade. I mean, obviously this game can't upgrade it right now. It is what it is. But it's the attack for me that has to go out there and show something, because so far it's been lackluster. Real Madrid don't have to go out there and do anything. And, well, it was gifted to them, the goal. And ultimately, you know, the game's going to kick off probably in the next 5 minutes or so. Yeah. They need to do something quick, Atalanta, for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I also took a quick trip to Twitter to see Gladbach, bless their heart, the Gladbach English account. And it just says... This was after 7 minutes. Need to stop Cancelo making any more passes for 83 more minutes. Which, to be fair, I understand it's not going to plan. But let's see what the second half brings. I would like, you know, a few changes at halftime, and I do appreciate that the moment it went 1-0, they didn't talk about the goal. They just said extra time isn't happening. Which was what was really we were in it for today, but. Oh, it's so harsh.
Yeah, what can you do, isn't it, at the end of the day? Look, one goal back in the match might be a little confidence booster, as I said. City's defence at times, when they've conceded, have been a little rocky. I think the best example of that was the Southampton game. But in the end, who knows? I mean, Roman's just put in the chat, Oldham, actually, during the 92nd minute, they were winning.
Yeah, Scunthorpe scored. I flicked over to... what's it called? Gillette Soccer Saturday during half-time because I had both teams to score Acker on, and I didn't realise that Preston had a man sent off, so they didn't get Alan Bloody Brown. So it's all gone to sugar, really. Yeah,
it's not been the greatest nights for bets. Well, I think there'll be a lot of people with Cheltenham as well who'll be a little bit frustrated with everything that's going on in the betting world today, not just in football. But don't forget.
Just crap.
I know, go for it. Yeah, it's been poor, hasn't it?
It's all right. It's just one of them where I'm just... I don't know why they're zooming in on... I think it's Traore doing a warm-up, but he's just strolling. I don't understand if they were trying to hint that maybe he's going to come on, but I very much doubt it. I'm not sure. What do you think for Atalanta? Any changes, or do you think they'll leave it for another half?
Well... It looks like there's been a change made because the board was getting ready to be changed for the numbers. I mean, obviously, I don't know whether it's just a case of getting the board ready for the second half, but we'll have to see in a second. The players are coming out now for the second half. Obviously, Real Madrid not making any changes as you'd expect. They're quite happy with everything that's going on right now. But they are making a change. I was right, yeah. Duvan Zapata's on. Pasalic is off, which is really surprising for me. I mean, he didn't do much in the first half either, in my opinion. I think he was a little bit lackluster in the game as well. But he did, for me, much more than Malinowski did. But this is a change of system. Zapata coming on, so that's two strikers. So Gasparini's going for it. And I like that. So it should make for an interesting second half.
No changes for Gladbach.
Which is poor, because they've got 5 changes they can use. Just use one.
Must have seen that, the first half was good enough. But, it was no changes.
They'll be looking at the shots on target and thinking, we've had a great performance, lads, so far. We've had about 5 shots on target.
At this point, rest them for Schalke. We need a big win on the weekend, lads. Just get everyone in.
It's feeling like a relegation battle right now, isn't it, with that game? It's not what you want to see. But very quickly, as the second halves do start, we've got more content coming up with the channel in the next few days. Don't forget, tomorrow, Champions League is back once again. Bayern Lazio, Chelsea Atletico Madrid. It's not with Will now. It's myself and KD for those matches. So I'm back once again tomorrow night. Should be interesting to see how that goes down with that game. Then on Thursday, we've got the Europa League 5:55 p.m. goal show. Arsenal and Spurs on showing that match. To be honest, it's probably not going to be a goal show. It'll be a goal show just with everybody in so we can chill out and actually talk about football rather than sitting there and seeing 4 games that are pretty much nearly done and dusted. But we'll see what happens on Thursday with that. And then straight after that, you can join Katie and Rowan for the 2 main games, Milan taking on Man United, Rangers Slavia Prague. And then myself and Kale will be there for the other 2 games going on, which includes Kiev Villarreal and Ajax Young Boys. Although another game in it, that's done. Ajax Young Boys.
Yeah, pretty much done. 3-0. I mean, unless it'll be like Young Boys Istanbul, but I very much doubt it as Zakaria gives away a cynical foul on Rodri as he drives towards the box after a couple of minutes in this half already.
Well, Atalanta starting on the front foot here, ball lobbed into the box, but it's actually gone out of play for a goal kick in the end. But I would expect something very similar here from Atalanta. This first 10 or 15 minutes, trying to go for it, get an early goal in the game. It's going to be a tough one here for Atalanta, but they need to get something.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's what we said, like the momentum at the moment is purely with Real Madrid, but I think if a team can really fight against the momentum, I do think Atalanta will give it a go. And when the momentum is with them, they're a very difficult team to stop when they're in full flow. It just doesn't feel like they've got to full flow yet in that tie.
Yeah, I've got to say it's been stopping from both teams. You know, Real Madrid, let's not forget, obviously they don't have to really go for it as much in this game, but I would have thought that they would have gone a little bit more attacking in this match as well to try and match up with Atalanta, and they hadn't. I mean, Toloi, they're actually calling for a penalty here, I think, for Real Madrid. But I don't see how this could actually be given as a penalty. It's not in the end. It's been given as a free kick to Atalanta. It was 50-50 for the ball between Vinicius Junior and Rafael Toloi. Both players got in with the high foot to get the ball, and in the end, it's been given as an Atalanta free kick. But there's been some interesting calls in this game. Of course, Real Madrid, I think fans joke a lot about Real Madrid being a side full of penalties and things like that. You know, I was saying a few days ago about the whole Penaldo Pessi thing where they joke about them just being penalty merchants, but nah, never a penalty.
And no, and at the moment it's bloody Sergio. I don't know, Pengio Ramos. It doesn't work, does it? But Sergio Ramos takes penalties now. Is Gundogan through balls? Riyad Mahrez takes a strike, and it's luckily for Gladbach, it's scuffed off the turf and behind for a goal kick. But I tell you what, credit to bloody Man City. They just pass it round the Gladbach press so easily. And
they're ruthless.
Yeah, they're a very good team. But, you know, and it's hard to, again, as much as Gladbach are definitely outclassed today, we've got to remember that the budget of these two teams is vastly different as well. You know, like Gladbach, you know, they were playing against Real Madrid and Inter Milan and they were really giving them a good go. But with the form they're on and they're playing against a team that has spent so much, and look at the bench of Man City as well. Like, it's an embarrassment of how much money has been spent on that, just bench-wise.
Yeah, it's a crazy team, isn't it? With the players that they can bring on, Aguero, Jesus, Sterling, just from the bench, it's unbelievable quality that they've got. But you know, I think I don't want to say, I'm not saying that they are as good as the Barcelona 09-10 team, but they've got a lot of reminiscence about them. The ruthlessness of the team of, you know, if we've scored 4 or 5, we actually want 6 or 7 in a match. They are ruthless. They've got quality players around them. They've got the manager who was part of that 09-10 team. And I feel like, yes, they're never going to be nowhere near as good as them. But there's that side of that Barca team coming out in this Manchester City side that, look, they're great to watch.
Yeah, well, not if it's against your team.
No. If it's against your team, then you don't want to watch it. You want to switch the TV off and not have to endure it. But
they're actually quite annoying to watch, if anything.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's been much the same to start the half. Rodri's just earned at Man City corner, because even he's getting involved in the attacking action, and he's usually the only man that stays back in the midfield for Man City. But even he fancies a goal today, which is probably fair.
Well, that's the thing, is the hunger and the desire from the players. It's a case of, I always feel like with Man City, when they get 2 or 3 goals in the game, it just gets to a point where all the players are like, well, we want to get on the score sheet now. When, usually with Manchester City, I think when they score 4, 5, 6 goals, it's never really one person scoring 3 or 4. It tends to be 5 or 6 different scorers, and it's a team effort from City this year.
It is, and it's what they've kind of been building towards. I think this is probably one of the more complete Man City sides since Pep's took over.
Yeah,
in my opinion, they've added, they finally found the right centre half after £1 billion. So it's good for them. But it's what we said. I think they built a team that can challenge at every level.
Yeah, at every level possible. The chance here for Real Madrid to come forward, it's going to be Vinicius Jr. It's a 2-1-2 here. Vinicius Jr. still goes. He's now inside the box. Brilliant run here from the Brazilian. And well, I mean, there's a reason why I'm not celebrating.
Yeah. I had a feeling it didn't go in.
All of the hard work he did there, brilliant work from him to dance around the Atalanta defenders. Shimmies past one, gets round another. I've said this before, and look, sometimes I'll joke saying Vinicius Jr. is a shit player and he's useless in front of goal. But one thing he needs to really focus on is his finishing. It's awful. In that situation, he's pretty much one-on-one with the keeper about 3-4 yards out, and we're just seeing it again. He misses, and I mean, the run is exceptional. He starts from the right-back position, and a ball eventually fed from Ferland Mendy into it. It's a brilliant pass. But he's finishing so poor. He gets around Romero. He's literally in the middle of the box on the inside. He's got towards the D, and he misses it. And Ramos, I mean, his reaction is as if Real Madrid have just lost this tie. He's dropped to the floor and started banging the ground in pure anger. And I think, if we are sat here in half an hour's time and Atalanta have got back into the game, that will be the moment that Real Madrid will look back on and think, we should have put that in the back of the net. But saying that, Benzema's in the box here, and it's good defended in the end by Pessina, who's cleared the ball away.
I think with Vinicius Jr., I think that's really been his problem, is the fact that he's been just a lax end product.
He's one of the worst finishers I've ever seen. And look, I can be a little bit harsh to the player, but I've never seen him ever finish well.
No.
Ever.
No.
And you can have the pace, you can have the skills, you can have the flair, but if you can't finish, you will never go down as a great player. No, and I think one example of a player who had that type of skill in his day was Hesse.
Oh, big old journeyman Hesse.
Yeah, he was one of those players that had skill, had pace, had finishing at the early stages of his career. When he was at Real Madrid and he had that little run and he was exceptional. I think a lot of his was an ego issue.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to name this, Bojan, let's just name some really crap Spanish players that have completely tanked.
Afalai.
Yeah, quality. And half of them played for Stoke as well. Really quality.
But he's awful, and I think that in the summer they need to seriously work on his finishing because Rodrigo's a much better player than him. But what's going on in your match? Enough of me rambling on about Vinny.
No, I just said half of them played for Stoke. I just realised all of them did. Hesse, Bojan, and Afalai all played for Stoke.
Played for Stoke.
Oh, Mahrez is through, but I'm more interested in Stoke past and present, to be honest with you. As Mahrez jinks inside, goes towards the back post, Liner's there, to be fair. And, Newhouse with a lovely little bit of skill on the edge of his own area there. That's bloody lovely from the man. And Stindl just needed to be an inch better with that pass. And Cancelo, get him sent off just for fun. It's a yellow. But, just make it fun.
Well, no reds here, but no, I was going to say a certain itchy private area for Gosens. I actually think he might have maybe pulled some very close to that area, but Ilicic is getting ready to come on. So obviously Gasperini not happy with the first 10 minutes of action here. I've got to say, pretty much like the first half, apart from that Vinicius Junior chance, there's not really been much going on in this game, and Atalanta need to go for it. And, yet again, I'm seeing this chance from Vinicius Junior now. Gets past Toloy, then gets past Romero, does so well. And he just tries to toe poke it into the back of the net. All he's got to do there is maybe put a little bit of power and curl on it, and it's in the back of the net. I'm trying to see where the goalkeeper's positioned. He's slap bang in the middle of the goal. And I actually think, give a little bit of credit to Sport Yellow, he's put him off there. But round of applause for Gladbach.
Yeah, just a good bit of pressure. We've caused a corner, Josh, right? This
is as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's the little wins. I'm hoping for a Cancelo double yellow just to make it even more interesting. But Hoffman stands over the corner. I don't know why I clapped a corner. We're crap at him. But prove me wrong, Gladbach. Come on.
Hey,
it's crossed into the ball. It's hit! Hit it in! What's happened? No, it's a foul on Ben Sabini. What?
Was the ball actually in the back of the net?
No, it was a foul by Ben Sabini. I'm trying to see what happened. So it hits Thuram's chest. It goes to the path of Ben Sabini. And I'm just trying to see, did he miss-hit it or was it cleared? Let me have a look. Oh, okay. It was cleared by Ruben Diaz. And Ben Sabini never touched him, but Ruben Diaz went down like a sack of shit and got the foul. That's basically what happened. I wondered what it was because I thought if it was a shot by Ben Sabini, it was horrific. But it was there to be hit, but Ruben Diaz got back and cleared it. Probably one of the best opportunities for Gladbach in this game so far.
No, fair play to him. At the end of the day, they're getting back into it, which is a bit of a shame. 4-0 down. It's one of those where it's just too little, too late. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few better chances in this second half for him to come forward, but Real Madrid could be forward again here. Vinicius Junior, he's got a second chance to redeem himself. He's gone down, and I think that's going to be a free kick. No, I think he's given a penalty.
Oh.
I think he's given a penalty. Vinicius Junior's gone down. Yellow card, I think, has just gone to Toloy, and the referee has given a penalty. And this might be a chance for Real Madrid to really kill the game off.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing the chance now. And that, for me, is a free kick.
Oh,
that has to be a free kick. The tackle from Toloy is outside the box, and that has to be a free kick. I mean, he goes down, and he makes it look like he's gone down in the box, Vinicius Junior, obviously to try and buy a penalty. It's not a dive. It is a foul. But it's a little bit tactical from Vinicius Junior, and this is getting checked by VAR. And if this is a penalty, then I obviously the game's gone. But obviously the referee doesn't get to see it. He's pointed to the spot, and it's a penalty. I think VAR still checking it. It's all right. VAR still checking it. Ramos was walking up to it as if he was about to take it, but it's been checked, and the referee, just waiting for VAR, is given a penalty. So Ramos steps up and it's in. I mean, the problem with this, right, is that the foul was made outside of the box. When Toloy tackles Vinicius Junior, the tackle is outside of the box. Now, I have no idea what the fuck is going on in that VAR booth for it to not be properly verified. I think there's been a lot of decisions in the past, and we're just seeing it again.
Is it? Well, this is the thing, Josh. You got it. Is it clear and obvious?
It's such a tough one because multiple angles makes it look different. Like there's one angle where you're looking at it front facing, and it actually looks like it was done in the box. But for me, it looks like Vinicius Junior's made it look like it was a penalty in the box. I think that's a harsh one to give as a penalty. I personally think that was a free kick. Ilicic comes onto the pitch now, which is a bit awkward considering that... Toloy's come off the pitch. It's going to be Palomino who comes on with Toloy getting the yellow card. And I think the Brazilian there will feel very, very unjust. I mean, he's coming off the pitch, he's shaking his head. I'm very surprised that's been given as a penalty.
But it's put the time maybe a little bit too far out of Atalanta's reach now.
Yeah, it's it hasn't been Atalanta's night, and I think it's been not just a case of Real Madrid being decent, but I think Atalanta have just not played well enough in this game to maybe deserve to get back into this match. Look, half an hour left, 3 goals needed. It's going to be impossible, I think.
Yeah, this ref's just having an abs. I don't understand. Liner's just gone away from thingy. He's moving as it. It's one of them where someone's running, and as they run, their arm goes out. But it kind of connects with it. What do you think on it? Because I know we saw Lamella do a stupid one, the other day, where he hit thingy. What do you think? If they're running and they're just trying to shield, and it just kind of prods them in the face. What do you think? Free kick, or are you he's just a natural kind of just trying to shield the ball? What do you think?
Nah, I'd have said free kick.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think.
It's got against Gladbach. It's Liner. He's just trying to get away, and it connects with the face of De Bruyne. I can see where you're coming from.
It's more of a case of just how the rules have changed these days. A few years ago, that would have probably not been given as a free kick, and he'd have just played on. But sadly, with the way that the game's just developed over time, it has just become a case now of everything seems to be a free kick, which is I don't like it. The pace slows down.
I guess it's all about player safety and stuff, and I completely understand it. I don't want to see people breaking legs and stuff like that, but I do understand what you mean. I understand if it was intentional, and it was always annoyed me about the likes of Fellaini, who always used to get carded just because he jumped, and when other people jumped, their head was at elbow height. That's not really his fault.
Yeah, exactly. But chancey for Atalanta. Oh, it's a ball towards the path of Zapata, but he just couldn't get the ball. And if he'd have put his foot out there, I think that would have made it 2-1, and it'd have made it a bit more of an interesting match overall. But Kyle's just put in the chat exactly what I said. Not a pen, but free kick. What a shit decision. Wonder if it's a set of English officials in the VAR room. I don't think they checked it, because at the end of it, I'd appreciate if they took a 5-minute break there just to check whether it was a penalty or not. I mean, Ramos is coming off now, but as we were saying before, Sergio Ramos comes off the pitch and his Eder Militao comes on. Let's not forget, Ramos recently coming back from a knee injury himself, I think. So just taking it nice and slow as you'd expect. But take the 4 or 5 minutes of extra time just to make sure whether it's a free kick or not. It's lazy from VAR, and whoever it is in the booth tonight needs checking. They really do, because just that extra minute of time would be appreciated to make the right decision, because as you were saying before, is it clear and obvious? It is. I think as a viewer, obviously, it's a bit more obvious because you are watching the game. But if you're in the booth, you've got so many different angles you can watch that at. How you've not seen it, I don't know. But chance here for Real Madrid to come forward again. It's Vinicius Jr., who got the penalty. Doesn't come to anything in the end, although Real Madrid has still got the ball. But King of Nothing's put, surprised Gladbach have left Busting Cider off the bench.
Who?
Busting Cider. I don't know whether I feel like that's one of those jokes.
It is. Come on, Josh, you're better than that.
Honestly. Fuck you. No, I'm joking. Honestly. Somebody got me in the end. Fuck you. It took you nearly a year to get me. Fucking hell. Honestly. But busting cider.
No, stop saying it.
I still don't get it. Busting cider.
How do you not get it?
I didn't get it.
Ref, fuck me.
I'm perplexed.
You don't get it.
Sorry, boys. It's okay. It's okay.
You don't get it.
No.
Man. Right, I'm gonna text you.
Just say it. I said shit on this stream before.
When you say it, you're still not getting it. I've messaged you on Facebook. I don't know why it's not sending. There you go.
Oh, busting cider, yeah. No. Honestly, I genuinely, come on. I'm in a world. I've had gin. Look, I've had 2 full glasses of gin today. I'm literally in a position where I'm completely out of it. Busting cider. I get it now. As I said, I've had gin today. It's been a long day. I've had Cheltenham races and shit. I'm completely out of it. You got me in the end. You're taking it well, honestly. I'm out of. Honestly, I'm out of.
It should be Mares. Good save, Sommer. Josh, come on.
I'm cracking. I've had gin. I've had gin.
Mares, back post. Good clearance off the line by Liner. By the way, there's been 2 subs. There was 2 subs for Gladbach.
I've had full glasses of gin. Yeah, I'm always going to blame the gin. I'll blame that fucking horse that lost today at bloody Cheltenham. It's that fucking horse's fault. Could have had 500 quid in the bank and that horse fucked it for me. But Manchester City nearly with another chance before I busted inside. What's going on there?
Get away from you laughing. I don't know now. There's been subs though. The
Zapata's in. Sorry, what a save.
It's all right. It's all right.
Good save from Courtois then. Just came out of nothing in the end.
It's irrelevant subs. It doesn't matter.
No, it was a good chance overall. Came from Malinowski. Good ball to Zapata, who's onside. Takes a touch. Probably should have done a little bit more with it, in my opinion, but he hits it at Courtois, who gets his left leg down low, keeps it out. And a good save in the end from the Colombian. Good save for Colombia. Fucking hell, I'm having a nightmare now. Good save from the Belgian, who keeps the ball out of the back of the net. And another good chance there for Atalanta. But they need to get something soon in this match. As Chris is in the chat, he's put back now, lads. Drop more points for me, to be honest, but fair result, very even game, missed opportunity, not taking advantage of one of our games in hand. We were 8 points off. We were 8 points behind playoff places with 3 games we've had in hand. As it's off the bar, what a save from Sportiello! He's saved it and then it's come off the bar and out of play. What a chance!
I thought it was 1-0 Carlisle.
No.
Oh. Right, thanks.
Did they miss a penalty in the end as well, Chris? I think I saw something about Byrie having a penalty, and I don't know whether that was Carlisle that had missed it. I mean, I'm so out of my depth when it comes to League Two football. I've got no idea. But what a save from Sportiello. He makes the save from Benzema's header. It's an incredible header. What a save. Comes back to Benzema again, who heads it, and it ricochets off the post. And a massive chance for Real Madrid to really kill this tie off.
Yeah, a bit of fortune that Atalanta really needed.
Yeah, and Vinny Junior comes off the pitch now. Rodrigo coming on. Of course, I mean, you can say in the long run, good performance today from Vinny. Although he missed that big chance. It was only 2 minutes later that he got himself the penalty, which was a little bit unjust in my opinion. But apart from that, he got the penalty for Real Madrid. Which Ramos converted, but a decent night overall for him as Atalanta looked to come forward. He has a patters in. This could be a really big chance in the game. Lobs the ball into the box, but good defending in by Nacho, and it's cleared away by Tony Kroos. As Tim says, I am slow today. I shouldn't have started drinking early, I'm not going to lie.
No, Josh, I think overall it's just a bad day. Like, I think this is the stream where I think we've come on, have a chat, vent our frustrations at other things, and
so I'm going to bust insider as well. I didn't get it.
You said that. You said that, not me.
At the end of the day, we're so depressed with these results. I mean,
yeah, I'll be honest, Josh. I don't know about you. I'm ready for the quarterfinals now.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm looking forward to the quarterfinals. Of course, the draw's on Friday, by the way, which we will cover live on the channel. It'll be interesting to see who draws who in that competition, in the latter stages even of the competition. Can
I put a bet on like the draw before it happens? Like say Porto will definitely draw Man City.
Yeah, I know you can do it on Sky Bet. I nearly said cider bet. I don't. It's sort of stuck in my head right now.
Right. Stop thinking about insider, right?
Chris put in the end, Barry missed the chance for Mansfield on penalty spot in added time. So yeah, they had a chance to go and win it. And then Chris put, I don't know what to make of the result. We're still in race of playoffs, but gutted it didn't take advantage. 3 games in hand. Make the most of it.
Take a point. Wait, were you away? Because I go by the lifestyle of if you're away from home, you take a point. Just cause.
Aware.
Yeah. Right, how do you do it, Josh? I want to see what it was.
I think he's on the special section. I don't know whether they put it up yet or not, but because the ties are still going. So it's more of a case of, I think very soon it'll be on there, but you can predict it. Benzema's in here, got around the keeper, but Sportiello just does enough to stop the Frenchman from having a chance on goal, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. But Sportiello keeping his side in the game here. 2 big chances in about 2 minutes. Jesus, honestly. I'm out of it.
What is this stream? It is just
I genuinely, like the darts one that I did, the World Championship final, where I was absolutely battered. I don't think I was. It's not even a case of being battered. It's just.
I think King of Nothing has rattled you. I'll be honest.
I think he has. I think I've just rattled myself.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
One of them, Ed's gone. Head has absolutely gone.
I think Ed's gone from the instant minute Gladbach conceded 5 minutes into the fucking match.
Oh well, I can't wait for Saturday now.
Yeah, no, look, Saturday's going to be an interesting game. I said we'll cover it live on the channel. It'll be Schalke Gladbach on Saturday. Kieran will be doing it. No doubt there'll be big celebrations if they do go and win that match. But, in the end, it is a massive game. The 2 teams with the worst form in the league finally have a chance to go out there and get a win on the board. It's needed.
I'll be the only person that gives it limbs when Schalke concede like their 70th season. Like, it will be the proudest day in a long time.
I mean, we don't want to be coming out of that match and seeing Schalke winning, because then
oh my God.
He's going to be absolute bedlam at Gladbach, I'll tell you that for sure.
The riots in the rooms of KL, that's all I'm going to say.
I think there'll be riots in the streets of streets of Germany if Gladbach lose that match.
It'd be an unbelievable result for Schalke, though.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Put them 9 points away from getting out of the drop zone, which, as ludicrous as it sounds, still doable. Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, they picked up a point. It's weird that Mainz can pick up like only a singular point against Schalke, but then they went and beat Gladbach. They got a point against Dortmund. They beat Freiburg. Mainz are weird, aren't they?
Yeah, it's an interesting Bundesliga relegation race, though, with how it's how it's panning out. A lot of teams like Bielefeld and Mainz seem to be picking up points here and there, and it's making for quite a very interesting game overall. I just don't feel like reading anything out anymore. But I'm just going to read it out anyway. Right, it's Insider. I'm just going to read anything out. Right, it's Insider, honestly.
Very good.
16 minutes left of this game. 2-0 in this one. 2-0 in City Gladbach as well. 4-0 on aggregate to Manchester City. 3-0 on aggregate to Real Madrid. And it is literally just the equivalent of teams time wasting. We're just here to watch the last 20 minutes and hope it ends.
I'll tell you what, if you look at all the aggregate scores, we've had a really good aggregate kind of time, like 5-4, 5-2, 4-0, 3-0, 4-0. Like, there's been a lot of goals over 2 legs.
Yeah, I think it has been really enjoyable. And funny enough, the one game I think we expected not to have many goals is the one that hasn't had many goals yet, which is the Atletico Madrid tie, which I am looking forward to that. I'm really excited tomorrow to see how Atletico Madrid play. I'll not be as smashed on stream, no doubt. So that'll be a bit positive. So I don't say bust insider. But it'll be great to watch that match because Chelsea been really defensive over the last few weeks. Quality performances. Atletico Madrid top of the league. Dropped points against Getafe at the weekend. And they will still be up there as one of the favourites to win this competition. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Atletico Madrid play because they've got to go for it, which is something we don't tend to see them do, as there's a long-range effort for Atalanta, but Courtois saves it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Atletico Madrid. I love Diego Simeone, so I do hope they go through. It's interesting, though, because Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea defensively have looked solid since he arrived. So it's 2 teams that are, since Tuchel's arrived, defense, which, to be fair, about a Thomas Tuchel team is not anything we've ever said. Like, even at Dortmund and at PSG, his teams could be got at. But since he's moved to Chelsea, solid.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You know, I think I've always looked at Tuchel. You look at him as an attacking manager, but right now seems to be working. But Zapata's in here. This could be a brilliant chance. Zapata's in. What a save from Courtois! Brilliant. Gets down low, keeps what would have been a massive opportunity in this game for Atalanta to have some form of belief. But now Real Madrid coming on the counter attack. It's going to be Rodrigo. Good chance here. He's on the inside. He's inside the box. Rodrigo still going, and he eventually stumbles over his own feet. And the ball goes out of play for a goal kick. But yet again, another brilliant save from Courtois, who has had a few saves of his own in this match to keep the score from being 2-1, 2-2, as Cruz is going to go into the book with a yellow card. And there's a few players on yellow cards now for Real Madrid. They've got to watch out here because, look, 14 minutes left of this match. Atalanta are getting back into this game a little bit, I've got to say. As Daz has put in the chat, I heard Premier League darts fixtures out next week. They're already out, Daz. If you go on the PDC Facebook page, they put them out a few days ago. So the Premier League fixtures are out. I think if at some point me and Chris are going to record another episode of the Double Top podcast, we'll probably talk about the fixtures and the Premier League in general. But they're out now, so you can actually see who's facing each other. And then Tubbs has put, but no tie could still beat the one-game scoreline of 8-2 Barca. Against Bayern, which it never will, because I just remember sat there at 6-2 just laughing because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's just one of them that you. Some of these things, like, you can maybe foresee slightly. Like I could foresee Gladbach, having a tough time against Man City. Foreseeing the global phenomenon that is Barcelona and what they were for so long. But admittedly, the cracks were showing for Barca, but not whatever the scoreline ended up being in there, like 8-something or whatever.
8-2 in the end. It was more of a case of it. Something like that needed to happen for the wake-up call, because for too long they'd been sat there having little results that had been disappointing, that were like, we can get over that. 8-2 is one of those where that will forever be talked about.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, Hannes Wolf had a strike there that I would have been talking about for a while if it had gone in. It was from the edge of the box. It was very similar to De Bruyne's effort, but this one went over the bar, unlike Kevin's.
Just wide.
Good effort.
Yeah, a little chance in this game as well for Atalanta. Really getting to this game now. Bit disappointed it's only took them, 75 minutes to wake up, but corner came towards the path of Romero, who very nearly glanced a header in, but there's another chance here. Ball lofted into the path of, I think, Malinovsky. It's going to come down to Muriel. Still trying to whip a ball in here, but good defending at the back from Rodrigo, of all people. And now Real Madrid going to push forward. 12 minutes left on the clock. It's Valverde on the right wing. Uruguayan still going forward here. He's up against Jim City, but he'll just slow the play down. And for Real Madrid now, 3-goal advantage, 12 minutes left of the game. It's pretty much done and dusted, you would assume.
I feel like both games might be that level at the moment, mate. I'll be honest with you. We have got 13 minutes to go, though. And I'm a bit like what you said earlier. I want a consolation goal now.
Yeah, it just feels like it's kind of like the equivalent of time wasting, isn't it? There's just not much going on. We're here to kind of fill the last 12 minutes because, usually with UCL ties, you sat here thinking, there might be 12 minutes left, but the other team is still well and surely in it. But this is the first time for quite a while, I think, where some of these ties, specifically these two, have been done and dusted.
How have we ended up with the only two ties that had nothing to play for with 10 minutes to go?
It's a shame. And we've got that on Thursday as well.
No, because Leipzig v Liverpool, to be fair, that was done and dusted with about 20 minutes to go as well.
True. But that was only 20 minutes left to endure. You've been sat there now for about 60, 70 minutes with it being at 4-0. It's not what you want, but as I said, we've got that on Thursday to do again. So
yeah, and it's always fun watching your team, even if it's not if you're getting beat, but it's nice to see. It's nice to have your team on telly, and as I'm becoming more of a Gladbach supporter, obviously Hull is my first team, but my German team are Gladbach, and they've given the ball away fantastically again. Great work.
It just sums up the night, doesn't it? It's not been the greatest of nights in the world for Gladbach.
Well, it's getting better because Traore is coming on. So,
and there's 10 minutes left, so time's ticking down.
Yeah, 4 goals in 10, anybody? No?
I mean, they were the most unbelievable UCL match, I think, ever. But
well, to be fair, what do you think about tomorrow's fixtures? Because obviously, Bayern v Lazio, that's over, innit? Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's over for me. Look, at the end of the day, I actually think Lazio should have come out of that game a bit disappointed to the fact that they didn't score more. I think Bayern started incredibly well in that match, but there was lots of opportunities in that game early on, specifically the first half, where Lazio could have put the ball into the net. I think Luis Alberto had 1 or 2 chances, and we could have easily gone into the break with it being, look, it could have been like 3 or 4 for Bayern at the break, but it could have also been 3 goals for Lazio as well. So for me, I think all Lazio have got to do is just go into the game with no fear. They've got pretty much a free hit on the board. With it being 4-1 down, everybody expected Bayern to go through anywhere. But if they could get 1 goal early on in the match, it's not going to change much. But like what Gladbach and Atalanta could have done today, if they can go out of there with a win but not an aggregate, it's a big confidence booster for them because they've struggled recently in Serie A. I think they're sat 7th or 8th in the league, so not the best of seasons for them, and I think they need to kick up the arse as well for the rest of the season.
Another league that's going to have an exciting conclusion, a bit like the Bundesliga.
Yeah. I mean, AC Milan, with the way it's going, are actually looking like they might drop out of the top 4 with how it's panning out, because I think Juve is one of the clubs, Napoli as well, are only 2 or 3 points behind them. So it's looking to me like it could be a case of something. 2 seconds though, because Luis Muriel, he's in.
Ooh.
Game on. We are back underway here. Luis Muriel with a free kick, and well, I wasn't actually expecting him to take the free kick, if I'm honest with you, but it is a little bit of a confidence booster here for Atalanta. It is a lovely free kick, and I think for the saves that Courtois made in this game, he gets a fingertip to it, but it's just not enough to keep the ball out, and that is the confidence booster Atalanta need. It's 2-1 on the night. Still need 2 goals in this game to go through, but this last 5 or so minutes, they've been really pushing. Yeah. They've had the chances, and with 8 minutes left on the clock, probably 3 or 4 minutes of additional time because of the VAR check and things like that. They're going to make a change here, and they're going to bring on Caldara, which I'm a bit confused by this. It looks like Malinovsky's coming off, Caldara's coming on, but also they are going to bring on. So here we go. Pesina's coming off for Caldara, and Miranchuk's coming on as well. So I think originally Caldara was coming on, but now the goal's gone in. They brought Miranchuk as well. But here we go. Bit of excitement with 7 minutes left.
Oh, the ball just got played back to Jan Sommer and he missed it. I don't believe what I'm watching.
Sums up the night, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just don't believe.
Sums up the night.
Yeah, Mahrez on the edge of the box. So Sterling, who came off the bench earlier. I just didn't want to mention it, to be honest with you.
But, well, I mean, we've got an interesting few minutes now, although, saying that, Real Madrid could be forward here. This could be a brilliant chance for them to make it 3-1. It's going to be a chance for Asensio, still going, plays the ball, and he's in. He's game over.
Oh.
And it's Marco Asensio who instantly scores straight from kickoff. And just as you think there's an opportunity in this match for Atalanta to get back in this game, they go up the other end, Real Madrid, and kill it.
Oh, we had a chat. This is what I mean, right? Traore has no end product either, right? Comes off the bench, and it's Player who plays a wonderful reverse pass, just like Mbolo in the first half, hits it with his left foot. At least Mbolo's was close. This was so scuffed. It was unbelievable. But, it was hope for Gladbach, at least. Could have had one. But it was Traore, who I think is another one, who just is so crap at end product. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's always been his problem for years. Again, I think his end product has been so poor. Yeah. It's one of those where it's like, what can you do at the end of the day? He's never really been ever able to improve his finishing, has he?
This is what I mean about attacking depth. Like, no offense to Herman, pillar of German football for ages. Traore played in the German league for a while as well. They need more quality off the bench because these players that are coming off the bench are unbelievably inconsistent and they don't really cause any sort of threat. Like
Yeah.
when you're taking off Thuram, who, to be fair, I don't think he's had his greatest season, to be honest with you. But if you're taking him off and you're bringing on Traore, I worry that if that moment, when you need a super sub, I feel he's going to shank it wide or something of the like. So they just need a lot. They just need to improve their depth because starting 11's really good. I mean, I still don't think Marco Rosa knows his perfect starting 11 or his perfect system, but it doesn't matter because he's leaving, so it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter regardless now. But it's such a shame. All Atalanta had to do in this situation was just organise themselves, and they wouldn't be in this position. But you go from the free kick going, and by the way, Muriel came off from Ranchuk, so that was his last kick of the match. But it's such a nice free kick, and all you've got to do, compose yourself, organise the back line, make sure Real Madrid don't get a goal back, and in the end, it's just one of those where they switch off at the worst possible time. And, Kyle knocked the TV off because thought the game was over. Josh said Atalanta scored, so game on. Turned it back on, Real Madrid has scored, so back off it went. It's one of those where it's like...
Yeah,
it kind of sums up the night perfectly, doesn't it? That kind of 60 seconds of excitement, and then it's just diminished.
These haven't been the magical European nights that we were told were going to happen.
No, and I mean, it's been a bit of poor quality. But saying that, Atalanta in again here. Long range effort, which is really well hit, I've got to say, but in the end, it was a little chance for Malyanovsky, who's hit some screamers in his career. That could have been one of them, but too much power on the ball. It's always going wide. And, look, if that had gone back in the net, 3-2, 4-2 on aggregate, we'd have been back to square one again. But with 3 minutes left now, this tie is done. City is done. We could have packed up our bags probably about 20 minutes ago and ended the stream early if we wanted to.
Yeah, we've stuck with it. Well, it's what you do in it. You stick with it through thick and thin. There's a long ball over the top to Alassane Plia. It looks like he's through, but it's probably going to get called back for offside. Of course it is. It's it's just a long night, isn't it? Like it's just been a long. Tony Janska's coming on. Get in.
Oh, it's what we love to see. I mean, look, I can't complain the other day. 4 goals in this match. It's been a decent game. It's certainly livened up in the second half. Real Madrid have been very professional in their performance. They've never really had to play full speed in this game to beat Atalanta, knowing that they're the team under pressure. And look, Real Madrid, they're going to be a hard side to face in the next round. They're going to be tricky. Yeah.
I think we're looking at two teams that are... I wouldn't want to say front rows because I don't know about Real Madrid over a consistent period of time. But luckily for them, the knockout stages, they only have to be good for 2 nights, and they've got a lot of pedigree in this competition. But yeah, I think we're looking at 2 teams tonight that could be teams that people don't want to face in the quarterfinals. But with the teams that have gone through, we're looking at a very strong quarterfinal class with one team surprising a lot of people, which was Porto.
Yeah, I'm hoping as a neutral, I'm hoping we get a lot of derby fixtures. It's not going to happen, let's be honest. As I said, I'd love to see City Liverpool. I'd love to see Bayern face Dortmund. If Atletico Madrid would get through, I'd love to see them play off against Real Madrid because, whenever they play against each other, it's always a thrilling affair regardless. But the reality of the situation is we'll probably get City, Porto, and other games like that. And for City fans, you'll be buzzing with that. But I want to see some good fixtures because, let's be honest, Porto now have to be taken very seriously after that result. Massive win against Juventus. And as much as I think there'll be a lot of people out there saying we want to get Porto, I think the clubs themselves will be looking and saying we cannot take them lightly after what they did against Juve, because it wasn't a case of they came out of the game 1-0. It was a tight performance. They scored 4 against Juventus and never backed down.
And played the majority of the second leg with 10 men.
Exactly. They showed no fear, which I think when a lot of teams have gone through in the past and it surprised teams, it tends to usually be low-scoring affairs where they're quite happy to sit back and just take a slender 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 lead. Porto didn't do that. They were ruthless at points, and You always felt like, for me in that match, that Porto were more likely to win than Juve were with the extra man.
Well, I mean, to be honest, a little bit of it was a bit sad Juve didn't go through, because what a set of 8 teams we would have been looking at. I know Porto were a good side, but could you imagine if Juve was in that group of teams that made it through? You'd have Juve, Dortmund, PSG, Liverpool, Real Madrid. It'd be a hell of a group, but
it wouldn't be one bad game.
No, exactly. And I don't think the Porto game will be a bad game.
No, definitely not.
As you said, they impressed a lot of people going through, and it was all Mediterranean.
Absolutely. Might have been sent off, but it was tactical. He knew what he was doing as we've gone into 5 minutes extra time here.
Played better with 10.
Oh, exactly. They dominated with 10. That was the thing for a minute. Remy came off. He was like, he knew what he was doing. Get sent off the pitch, dominate the game, and then, he'll come back in the second leg of the next round and score the winning goal.
Oh, if he plays in the second leg, I'll just be well happy. By the way, there's 2 minutes added on in this game. Come on, just get a goal. Zakaria driving, passes it off to Hannes Wolf. There's an overlap from Line. He doesn't go for it. He switches it to Traore, who touches it to the feet of Kyle Walker. Wrong team, but it's all right. Oh.
Another good save from Sport Yellow. Chance for Real Madrid to really make this a bit more of a convincing scoreline. Could have been 5-1 on aggregate. I think it was a chance for Rodrigo. He's been very lively since he's come on. Got to give credit for him. As I said, I think for me personally, like if I was to compare Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo, I think he's the better player. But a good one-handed save from Sport Yellow in the end, and doesn't come to a goal. But I can see that the pillow is out. What's going on?
Nothing. That's the problem. It was a nice little bit of build-up again on the right-hand side, and then Liner has it, and he just sums up the night because he goes to pass it, and just no one's on the overlap, and just no one has read what he's trying to do, and he just passes it to the billboard, and he just sums up exactly what's wrong.
Honestly, it's not been a great night, has it? As Tubbs put in the chat, why do I have the feeling City will win the quadruple this season?
Oh, God.
They're looking on course for it. And he's put, I hate it, but I have that damning feeling, as Chris has put as well. He thinks Real Madrid would get turned over against Bayern, Man City, PSG. I disagree with PSG, and the only reason why I disagree with that is the problem with PSG right now is for every good performance they put in, they tend to put a shit performance in. It's really strange because the Champions League, they've been brilliant, but Ligue 1 is where they've struggled. Teams like Nantes at the weekend lost to them in what was a very different game, considering the situations that were going on in the background, with some players having to be subbed off because of certain things going on outside of the stadium, which is why they had to be subbed off. Di Maria being one of them. But I think, look, PSG will be up there, but I don't think they're going to win it. I think the problem is they've been a little bit too patchy. But I think when you look at most teams, there's been patchy bits of form for all of them, bar City and Bayern.
Yeah, full time, by the way. The game's over. There's not really much to add from the first half. That second half was just, what do you say, kind of professional, I guess, in the second half. There wasn't much to report throughout the whole of the second half. City are through. They look dangerous. Gladbach, unfortunately, their kind of dream run to the last 16 ends at the hands of Man City. But the more worrying oversight is how poor their form continues to be, and how good Man City's is.
Yep, steamrolling on, and again, another game where they've not conceded any goals in the Champions League. I think that will be up to now around about 700 minutes where they've not conceded in the UCL, and eventually you'd assume probably in the next round, depending on who they get, that should end, realistically speaking. But just with the way that they're going right now, they are by far the favourites to go and win this competition, as we've got about 20 seconds left of this match, and Atalanta are going to be bowing out of the competition. And look, going out to Real Madrid is no mean feat.
No.
They've put up a very valiant effort against them. Not the strongest Real Madrid side in the world. Let's not forget the first leg. They were missing quite a few players, and that's where Atalanta should have taken advantage. But the referee blows his whistle. Atalanta bow out of the competition. Real Madrid through to the next round. And look, at the end of the day, I think as much as Real Madrid are a team that could be beaten, because they've got a manager that has got the experience of winning this competition, because they've got multiple players in this side that have been there and done it, I think Real Madrid have to be put up there as one of the sides that could still go on and win this competition. Because, look, 4 goals against Atalanta over 2 legs, not bad. But they're going to have more players back in the future after COVID and multiple injuries. And a big performance again as 4-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, I think the 2 favourites in the tie go through. No magical evenings in Europe tonight. Basically, academic performances from the 2 favourites and setting a marker down for what the future of this tournament's going to be. And if the 2 continue to play like they did over 2 legs in the next couple of rounds, they'll be tough teams to beat.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to be very, very tricky for any team coming up against these sides. Josh, I think Chris was just trying to say PSG will knock Real on their butts, not win the UCL. Oh, no, I do know what he means, but that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say PSG probably aren't as likely for me to win it, just because they're a little bit patchy at times. But I think putting both together against each other, they're both as patchy as each other right now. So it could make for an interesting affair overall. As Chris has put, please give City a tough draw, as much as City fans will be thinking the same.
I'm honestly, I've just got money on them getting Porto. I hope they don't, but I've got money on them getting Porto because they just have such easy draws all the time.
Yeah, they do at the end of the day. But who knows? I said that draw's going to be on Friday. There's still much more to come over the next few days on the channel. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm back with KD. We're going to be doing Bayern Lazio, and I'm going to be covering Chelsea Atletico Madrid. That's live from 10 to 8. Of course, we'll be keeping you up to date with those 2 matches. Fingers crossed, touch wood, they're better games. Thursday afternoon, 5:55, we've got 4 fixtures coming up in the Europa League. It includes Spurs and Arsenal in play. Are we going to get any interesting matches? We'll have to find out. That's at 5:45. And then straight after that, Katie and Roman, they're going to be hosting the evening games. 2 games, probably the only 2 right now that are still in contention. Milan Man United, Rangers Slavia Prague. You can check those games out there from around about 10 to 5 to 8. They'll be covering those matches alongside myself and Kieran L, which will be there covering the other 2 matches, which includes Kiev Villarreal and Ajax Young Boys. Don't forget the UCL 15 tournament. You can still participate in this if you haven't already. You don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation to take part. There's a cash/gift card prize for the winner. If you haven't put your name down for it yet, it will be taking place, I believe, in the international break. So please do put your name down in the comments below. We will add you to the list. There are 9 spaces left. So do put your name down very quickly because they will go very, very soon indeed. But overall, very quickly looking at the chat, Tubbs has put he wants to see City versus Real next in the draw. And he also wants to see City versus PSG, potentially one of those 2. And Daz has put he wants either Porto or Atletico Madrid as a Liverpool fan. Have you not got memories of what happened last time you played Atletico Madrid, Daz?
I think that's why he wants it. I think it's always good. It's one of them where you want to run it back and I think the players might feel the same way. It's one of them where you're not happy about it ending last time, so you want to run it back. But as you say, every team that's left has deserved their spot. I think it's fair to say. Yeah,
definitely so. Completely agree with you. It's all 8 teams deserve to be where they are in this competition so far. But don't forget, if you want to check out our social media, our Twitter is @the_top corner. And our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do check those out if you want to keep up to date with all of our social media. And if you haven't checked out our website, then please do. You can see it on the screen right now. thesports-corner.com is the place to go. We've got new articles available every day. We've just had a piece go up, I believe, while we've been live on the channel. If you are a big fan of the Sky Bet Championship, then well worth checking this piece out. I'm not going to show you all, of course, because it'd be a little bit cheeky to give you a glimpse of it. But 4 young players excel in the championship this season. Well worth checking that out. I believe that is by, I'm going to guess it's probably from Simon who put that piece up. So a little bit of a glimpse there for you, but other articles as well on there. We keep you up to date with all the latest news in football, not just world football, but the likes of the championship as well, alongside all of the deals that have been going on in the NFL with free agency frenzy. So once again, thesports-corner.com to check that out. As James has put in the chat, I returned finally. Somewhat disappointed we didn't score so many more. How were the games? I think enough was said there.
you missed nothing, James.
Yeah.
Is he in the FIFA Sim tournament? Does he want to be in the FIFA Sim tournament?
Are you in it, James? I'll very quickly check on stream now. But overall, before we do go, obviously my question for you, we were talking about a little bit earlier on. 2 more fixtures still to come in the round of 16. Bayern Munich, Lazio, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. You asked for my opinion. What do you think is going to happen in those games tomorrow?
I think it's going to be academic for Bayern. Bayern are already through, in my opinion. I think Atletico v Chelsea, 1-0 Atletico, we see extra time.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. I think that we need a few games going into extra time because we saw the start when the Porto game was on. We still haven't had a penalty shootout in this competition since Real Madrid played Atletico Madrid in 2016. So it's been 5 years since we've had a penalty shootout, which is bonkers when you think about it.
It's too long, and the last time we had a penalty shootout on the channel, we was watching Northern Ireland, I think, and you were watching Scotland. Yeah. So it's been a while for us to watch a penalty shootout as well. But with the FA Cup this weekend, and is there replays in the FA Cup or is it?
I think it's just going straight to extra time and penalties. So that made life so much more easy for those games.
Yeah. So there might be a few FA Cup watch-alongs this weekend. None of us are in it still. Like, all of us are out. But if there's a good game, we'll just, do you know what? That's why they need to keep on the Twitter, Josh.
Yeah, exactly. Check out the Twitter and you'll be able to see when we go live with all the stuff indeed. But as for now, not the greatest night of action in the world. Look, we've done very good. I've got to say a massive thank you to Kale tonight because it has been probably one of the longer watch-alongs we've done in terms of just sitting there and trying to find things to talk about when the games haven't been exciting. But look, tonight we had about 15 seconds of excitement when Atalanta put the ball into the back of the net and then conceded straight from kickoff. But once again, thank you very much, Kale, as always.
Thanks, Josh, mate. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Well, I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday. Don't forget, Chelsea Atletico Madrid is the game I'm covering, so who knows, maybe Giroud might score another bicycle kick. But as for now, Kale will be back on Thursday for the Europa League Goals show. But as for now, have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And don't forget to leave a like and subscription if you haven't, as always. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.